Hey everybody, what is up? It is I, Link, coming back at you after a small break. That break was because of school, and it's pretty much school. I had to finish up and get myself exempt from my exams. I'm officially done with school today. And tomorrow, today was my official last day. So, that's fun. You're gonna see the fact that this is a Jungle Jacks gameplay. Actually, I'm gonna bring up real quickly on the screen the ban list of the game. We were playing this as my first ranked game, and by ranked, I think this was draft. Yeah, never mind, this was draft. You're gonna see the team pick. I was the captain, and it was kind of interesting how the picks went. We started by banning Morgana, they banned Vayne, then Mordekaiser, then Shaco. We actually didn't ban Shaco. Dr. Mundo was banned, then Shen, and then Cassidy. So, the typicals. Morgana, this was before she got her nerf on her team. Anyway, I'm playing Jungle Jacks, as you're going to see if I bring this down, but we're not. I'm just sitting at blue buff right now. I'm Jungle Jacks, he counterpicked with Fizz. Then we picked Twisted Fate and Teemo. They counterpicked with Rise and Volibear. We picked a solo top Olaf and a Kale support. They picked an Akali solo top and an AD Ashe. Now let's bring this down and get ready to see something quite awesome up top. I should unlock the camera. Just watch this. So he goes in. This Volibear goes in way too hot. Just goes in there, gets ignited, gets exhausted. His passive does nothing, and the Olaf comes out with more than half health. Now with Jax, his jungle pattern goes as so: you get blue buff, you get wolves, you get wraiths, you get red, you get this, and then depending on if this is ready to gank, or bot's ready to gank, or top's ready to gank, you go back to wolves. And if mid's ready to gank, you kind of just do a really weird little outer pattern all the way up there. Now, our top lane is the solo Olaf. Our mid versus the Volibear. Our mid is Twisted Fate versus Rise, which Twisted Fate is obviously stronger than Rise. He doesn't have to spam as much, and he's got longer ranged attacks, as you can see right there. Our bot is actually quite interesting. We have a Teemo that goes up against an Ashe, but an Akali support with a Kale support. The Kale support with a speed buff along with the Teemo move quick buff. That is kind of deadly in lane. As you can see, I'm actually clearing up golems in a matter of seconds. I honestly really love Jungle Jacks. Jungle Jacks is my favorite jungler. Mostly due to his speed, how effective he is at jungling his clear time, and his ganks. He's very gankable once you get him his phage. Once he gets that, he can just go in there and do some nice damage. Although they did have a Kale, so when I go to gank bottom, she managed to slow him for me, so I didn't have to rely on a random chance. Now Olaf's going and having another fight with the Olaf. The Olaf is running low and forced to return to his turret, while the Volibear didn't put any points into Frenzy. Or maybe he did. That's weird. Huh. So anyway, I cleared this up, and I was debating going up there, but he does get pushed away, get killed. Then his passive kicks in, and I know he's going to be returning, so it wasn't worth it. So I'm actually going back to clear up wraiths, as I see the Twisted Fate and the Rise doing nothing. Although this Rise is kind of dumb, wasting almost all of his mana early. And this Twisted Fate is playing very conservatively. And he also has his blue card, so that's a thing. Right here, I actually I'm clicking up here so I can go and grab this Volibear, because he overstayed his welcome in lane. And then I see him start to return, and I was like, come on minion, just a single minion, tap him. And he actually gets off the return, which kinda sucks. Now I'm going to the bottom golems to go and get a little bit more CS. And excuse me if I do sound a little bit nasally, it is that time of the year, and allergies are at their most prevalent. But that's beside the point. As you're gonna see, they have them push the turret, and that Kale, it keeps overextending for no good reason. Teemo gets some nice last hits, and I am going to go in here without a phage, but I am going to use my dash, or my ghost to get in there, hit her with my W, do some damage, force them both to pop their flash. Should have turned on Ashe quicker, slowing her and doing just a little bit of damage. I'm going to return now, and I was actually debating if I wanted to put up my W and then flash into her once. I try to make up the room, but I don't, although I do pick up a quick gold. Volibear getting killed by the Olaf. Pretty much the same tactic as last time, but their jungler is now here, going after our Olaf. He's going to throw that in there, do some damage, turn around, pop his ulti. The Fizz is going to try, and the Fizz is going to die. As the burn goes away, the Olaf lives, and pretty much sees another day. I'm going to speed this up now because it has been 6 minutes and not much has really gone on. It is laning. I think I take Dragon at level 9. Not quite sure exactly what level. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about Jungle Jax. Jungle Jax has a plethora of capabilities. He has his Q, which is very good for escaping, especially once you build his wriggles. He can jump to pretty much anything that's on the enemy team or on the friendly team. That's pretty much it. It scales heavily on AP, but not so hard on AD. Volibear going past turret, and me and the Twisted Fate actually going to go and find him, see if he's still there. I do turn because I figure he's long gone by now because of his Q.
An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, he's complaining that Fizz is ganking more often than I have because he seems like he's handling himself. Anyway, I can jump to pretty much anything with Lead Strike, so it's a really good escape tool. I can also use... see, handling himself. I can also use my W, which resets my attack timer. So I can do basic, and then use that, and then that's pretty much it. It does an extra burst of damage. Now, I also have a passive for my ultimate, but we'll get there in a second. Relentless Strike is my other passive, which increases my attack speed over time, which is really good with the Ginsus. Now, Counter Strike. This is the first thing I put points into. Jax enters a defensive stance where, for 2 seconds, he pretty much becomes... basic attacks do nothing to him. And he takes 25% less of area of effect abilities. After a couple seconds of channeling, or you can cut it off early if you don't want any extra damage, it stuns everything around him. So that's kind of the deal with him. Then my ultimate is Grandmaster's Might. It gives me a mass of defense and magic resist. But earlier, it used to give you extra 80. So I run in there with Counter Strike up, so I know I can walk into the bush and get off the quick stun. Although Teemo does get killed by mid going bot, so yeah, that happens. Grandmaster's Might used to give ability power and attack damage, but Jax was way too squishy, and now he has the perfect balance in between squishy and damage dealing if you build him correctly. As you can see here, it scales on how much ability power and how much arm or how much attack damage you have. So the stronger you are, the more defense you get, which is really quite cool. Anyway, your passive is pretty cool. So as you'll see, as I basic these, 1, 2, 3. Didn't quite get that. Volibear up there, they swap ignites pretty much. As you're gonna see, every third hit, I'm gonna have those weird little lines that come out from the targets, and that is the Grandmaster's Might passive. That little thing with like the lines going down. Very, very good for when you're actually taking off a single target, because that extra damage, it's amazing. It takes about 67, 70 ability power to actually completely block it and make it pretty much like a minion attack. But anyway, bot lane picking up a kill and going to push their turret as the Akali comes back. Me getting my red buff. And we're actually going to see this Fizz over here try to get away. He actually doesn't get away. He's still inside there. He failed his jump because Fizz can't jump there. Although Twisted Fate does die in a matter of seconds. Olaf going back, getting behind turret, and he's calling me an idiot because I had to return and get some items. Although this Olaf is going to try and kill this Volibear, I'm going to go in there, stun him, go after him, and force him to return behind his turret. Now that I have a Wriggle's Lantern on Jax, I also have a Merc Treads, so I'm pretty much a big deal now. Anyway, me getting a lot of flack from that fight, going in and getting some CS to heal myself up, as the Volibear is pushing turret like no other. I debated even returning, but doesn't matter, because there's 4 bots that pick up both of them in a matter of seconds. And I don't know how laning phase is over. Only Rise should be missing. There were 4. And doesn't matter. Yeah, people in draft games are a lot more blunt and a little bit more cynical. Anyway, I ping and say go to Dragon, even though I can solo this thing at like little to nothing. Kind of updating their jungle right now to see if I can get anything. Get anything good. The Akali is coming down, and I'm going after the Ashe. But then I realize I'm just going to take this tower. Now, one thing about Jax is once he gets his passive, he does a crap ton more damage to turrets. Anyway, they're going to go in here. They're going to slow down the Teemo, lock him up. I can't do much. I'm going to go in there, hit the Akali, get hit with the Ashe arrow, turn on my ultimate and my base and my counter strike, jump to a ward, and get away. Make some nice room up before they actually can actually do anything real. The Akali is going to attempt to dash over. The Rise misses his flash, and I have put a ward down there so they actually all return and go pick up those minions before they get to their tower. Now that's one thing I love about Jax. As you see him, I was able to put on my defense, my counter strike, and take a lot of their beating, and then jump to the bush, which made them all untarget me, so they were forced to re-click, which gave me a couple extra seconds of movement. And then I started moving out of here, and I would have... I never realized there was film grain here. I would have been able to make it to the other ward in time. Let's see. The Volibear does push the top turret all the way back to here, but that's not really necessary because the Olaf's going to go in there and try and get the Volibear. The Volibear actually does manage to live, which is quite interesting. I'm going to take my blue buff back, as we have 3 mid that are pushing quite frivolously. I'm returning now. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm grabbing wolves. When I return, I actually pick up some new items. Although I am in the middle of this, I'm going to go in there, pop my Grandmaster's Might. They are going to all focus me out almost instantly. We do kill the Volibear, all of us, but Akali gets her kickoff on me and pretty much ends my spree at 0. So I don't know how that works. She's gonna go in there, pick up the Teemo, go back, trying to kill the Twisted Fate, but doesn't. And she gets shut down after a double kill. And now we are free to push mid. I actually don't know what I was doing. Oh, I was waiting for a little bit of money. Now I have my Zeal, so I'm even faster. So now if they try to run, it's even harder. Now one thing I do as Jungle Jax is he's amazing at clearing lane. Actually, any Jax is. I mean, look at that. You go in there with your E activated, it gets up to full stacks, and you just can wreck through any minions. Anyway, going top, we have a small fight going on where the Akali does manage to pick up the Twisted Fate, and the Ashe kills the Olaf. And the Akali is somewhat fed. Then we have the Teemo kind of sitting in here doing nothing. And he yells at me because I was actually down bot. Then I went to Golems on my way, because I knew for a fact they were on the other side of the map and it would take me too long to actually get there and help. Like I said, people in these games are kind of ridiculous. This Akali trying to do some burst damage to me, not doing much. Although I am 1 Jax and there's 2 of them, so it's quite hard to actually defend this. Now they're going to, I think, check for my buff or go for Dragon. I can't remember where we catch them, if we even do catch them. But that's pretty much that right now. The Fizz is going top to go in, probably back to jungle. I go through steal the big Wraith and a second Wraith. Oh wait, no, they were going bot after they checked for buffs. That's what they did. I'm not sure what I was doing. I should have went through river, but I'd go through Tribush, and then I wait for a second, and the Akali's going up, so I'm gonna wait. But I didn't realize they had this warded, so I'm gonna use my E, my Ghost, and then back up a little bit, and then get ready for this. Gonna stand in there, jump to the Olaf, trying to cover some ground. The Akali slips away, going topside, staying in her fog for a little bit of time, and the Rise getting away with nice health, with good health. Okay, now we have the Volibear and the Fizz destroying the turret because we were all too busy going after 2 people, which is why I was hoping to go in there with just Teemo. Dragon comes back up, so yeah, I pretty much need that. I do go and pick it up in a matter of seconds. They do grab the turret as Olaf is going to start chasing after them, but he realizes that they're already too far away and just starts going after the CS. Now right now, I can see a major flaw with the team. 1, why is Kale sitting in the jungle doing nothing? And 2, Twisted Fate shouldn't be there. Anyway, Olaf gonna take some really heavy flak from both of them, luring them back to the bush where Twisted Fate was actually, I think, AFK. So they're gonna turn on the Volibear, realize that they can't do it, and they're going to start attacking. I'm on my way to hell, and I'm not sure why they didn't initiate or keep him there any longer. Kale goes in there with her basic and tries doing something to him, as the Ash Arrow comes through, doing damage to all of us, and able to slow us just long enough where we can't do much. Although Fizz does come in trying to do some damage, I'm not going to have it. I'm going to pop my Counter-Strike, try and get up the room, go after the Fizz. Fizz is going to make it out. I have my Leap Strike up, so I'm going to jump to him, land my basic on my W, going to catch up, try and land a couple more basics, and I do land one with the Grandmaster Strike and pick up the Fizz. Now we are going to go after the Kali, who is sitting here not quite aware of our presence. She does use her cloak, and we have to wait as the Volibear comes out of nowhere. I'm going to jump in on the Volibear, land the stun, and he's going to be picked up by the Thunderclap from the Olaf. Now Akali going top. I do jump to the Ashe, doing a little bit of damage. Now going after the Akali, who I figure is in the bush, but she's not. She's actually underneath the turret. I would have tower dove right now, but it wasn't worth it to actually go and do. Not much I can really say here. The game is about to end, so yeah, the Teemo almost dies, and we're having a fight on a turret. I don't know why I didn't just buff and run in there and jump to the prize. Anyway, that's another thing I like about Grandmaster Strike. Fizz uses AoE, and it literally did little to nothing to me. So yeah. Anyway, I think it's about time we go over the build orders. After we go over the builds. Let's see where to start. We can actually no, we can't. As I'm actually going to go after the Fizz, popping my ultimate and taking very little damage. As you can see, my defenses are quite high because they do scale off what I currently have. I don't have enough ability power yet, but I will fix that problem in a second. Now I'm going to turn on the Rise, getting hit with a point-blank Ash Arrow. Merc Treads help me get rid of that. I'm actually going to get quite low. I figure this Akali's going to keep going after me. Jump to an enemy minion. She dashes. Doesn't do much. I'm out of there scot-free. As the Olaf now takes almost all the flak from the whole team, but can't be slowed. Going to return. Now this Twisted Fate goes up, throws his cards, and kills the Rise. The nice card trick. Anyway, the Akali, the Volibear, and the Ashe all know he's there. If I was him, I would have started walking this way. What the heck? Pings. Oh, I can't ping in this. I would have walked this way and walked down and around. But he decided not to. He's going to try and go after this Volibear, gets slowed, and then the Fizz is going to come in and pretty much end him right around here. Although the Kale, out of nowhere, is going to try, come in here, give him his speed buff, and then let him out. Now I am going to take the offensive on this newly slowed Fizz, and land some basics, get my stun out, do my W, hit him for some nice damage as he backs away, back into his group. And as you can see by the time, it's almost over. I do go and take Dragon real quick. Not sure why I pinged there. Or maybe it was the Kale, I don't know. We do take a mid turret right here. The Akali does go after the Olaf. Anyway, Ash Arrow coming in, landing it on the Olaf and the Teemo. Or was it the Teemo? Yeah. The Olaf and the Teemo. Teemo going in, trying to get another kill. Doesn't do much. I do go pick up the Rise. Teemo using his Ghost, but is not worth it because Ashe is going to go and kill him. Now, I don't know what I was doing here. I should have stayed up here, went after the Akali, and then went after the Ashe. Could have grabbed myself a quick double kill. As I do get the speed buff from the Kayle, going after the Ashe now. Not much I can do. Popping my Counter-Strike because I figured that I'd be able to jump to her and land the stun, but she's now sitting under that turret, and there's not much I can do. So we're going to speed this up just a little bit more. The builds, well, they mostly look standard builds. I'm not quite sure. I didn't have a chance to look at these earlier. By look of it, they are all standard builds. Nothing, no real variance. As you can, if you're a veteran or even know a little bit about the game, you should be able to see what everything is. Anyway, the Fizz ulti landing on the Olaf. Olaf using his ultimate to not have any of that. Fizz now very low, getting out of there. Me turning to go after the Akali because she is much squishier and much more valuable prize. Now I'm going to go in there, turn on my Counter-Strike, leap to the Volibear, stun him under turret, get the ultimate from Kayle. Now we turn on the Akali, and then we turn on the Ryze. I should have kept going and jumped after him, but it wasn't worth it. I do return back just a little bit, and I do pick up a Abyssal, or a Blasting Wand. Now, see, now what happens is that, now that I have all that extra ability power, this does more damage, and this does more damage. Anyway, that was it, and if you enjoyed the content provided, leave a like. If you want to stay current, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all later.
Victory!